What's going on, YouTube? The Sports is Life podcast is back. NBA Finals, series tied 2-2. It's my first pod on the NBA Finals, as wanted to really get a good sense of who these teams actually were. The Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors. Coming in, I thought that they were a fairly even matched team. Boston had great defense this year, but most of the year they were down in the Eastern Conference in the 7th through 10th seed. And then, the last few months, starting at the beginning of January, they just ran on this run like they finally figured it out. And it just boggled my mind how they've actually gotten to this point. I know, I take that back. I know how they've gotten to this point. The Bucks, Chris Middleton was out. The Heat was banged up. The Nets were frauds. So they got to this point, not because they didn't deserve it, but because some of the teams in the Eastern Conference were banged up. As far as Golden State did what they had to do against Memphis. Was a tough matchup for them. They really struggled against young, athletic teams. Once the Mavericks beat the Suns, it was probably a foregone conclusion that Golden State was going to get by them, but the way that they got by them pretty much impressed the world. So coming into the finals, I believe Vegas had Golden State as the favorite. So what are my thoughts on these finals? As I said, this is my first pod on this series. It's tied up right now 2-2. I think the Celtics are the better, deeper team overall. But Golden State has the best player with Steph Curry. Obviously, in the NBA, whoever has the best player has a greater chance of winning. That's just the way it's always been, namely because they're one of five. This is not football, it's not hockey, it's not baseball. NBA, one player can greatly affect the game. I think the coaching has been about even. Some would think that maybe Steve Kerr would have the edge, but Ime Udoka has been he's been solid. He's been solid the entire year. It seems like once the Celtics players got on his plan, that's when they turned their season around. And I believe as a fan, that's all that you can ask for. Probably all the Boston, the celebrity media fans out there, the Bill Simmons, the Chris Mannixes, the Kevin O'Connors, the Ryan Russillos. I'm sure that they're all in on Ime Udoka. So as far as coaching, they've been about even. I think Kerr should probably have the edge, but he doesn't. It's been a straight dogfight this entire series. It's now a best 2 out of 3 as it goes back to Golden State, back to San Francisco for a Monday night game. Best 2 out of 3. The best that I see it right now, it's rebounds and turnovers. It seems like whoever has the most rebounds, whoever has the least turnovers, win these games. I think everyone has talked about Steph Curry's legacy, his legacy up to this point. In my book, he's a Hall of Fame, top 15 all-time player. I think the critiques has come around where he's starting to get elevated into that top 10 range. And so him not having a finals MVP, that's going to be the little crack that everyone always picks at. But Steph Curry has been by far the best player in this series. Even if the Warriors lose, he may still get that MVP. But this is a golden opportunity. No pun there, but this is a golden opportunity for Steph. He's clearly the best player. He's coming in averaging 31 in the finals. He's doing his thing. He had 43 points the last game, just dropping threes all over the place. This is his time to show that he is the best player, not in this series, but maybe the best player in the world. Now, in actual reality, Giannis is the best player, no matter what Steph does. But Steph has a golden opportunity here to make his presence known as the driving force of the Golden State Warriors. They won a title without KD. They won 2 with KD. If they win this one, this would be his 4th ring. He would be tied with LeBron James. And I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan, but You put Steph Curry's career up there with LeBron James, and I may lean toward Steph Curry. So we'll see what happens on Monday night. I'll probably do another pod after that Monday night game. Just no matter how it breaks, Game 5 usually turns the series. Whoever wins Game 5 usually wins the series. I believe it's a 72% rate as it goes right now, that whoever wins Game 5 of a 7-game series in the NBA ends up winning. So we'll see what happens. All right, YouTube, drop me those comments. Like this video if you liked the video, and please subscribe. We'll see you next time.